maybe next time then. We'll try that again. So the other day, I went to Olive Garden. So far it was a pretty good fucking day, right? Yeah, that worked out pretty well. So I went to my friend's house afterwards, and I was standing on the sidewalk having a cigarette. I was waiting for her to come back outside. And across the street on the other sidewalk, I saw a girl riding a bicycle. She had a grocery bag on one handle, and she was holding the other handle, and she was on her phone, and then she was also holding a wallet. She's doing a lot of shit. When I was at Olive Garden, I spilled Alfredo sauce on my shirt. Like, I was just doing one thing. She was counting money, breaking up with her boyfriend, like grocery shopping. I mean, I still got that sauce off and I ate it, but the shirt's still stained. I don't really wear that shirt anymore. So that kind of sucked. She's great at multitasking. If you can't tell, clearly I was raised by a single parent on stage. Anyone else? There's only 2 other people that have fucked up lives, I guess. So everyone else is great lives. Great for you guys. Anyway, so no, I thought it was always kind of weird. Mothers typically have the children most custody, and it's pretty simple because they're clearly just better than men. Obviously, they're doing pretty fucking well. So the dads have them for the weekends, and it's pretty easy for the dad because they're just all right, I'm just gonna kill this amount of time. But then the mothers are these assholes are wasting all of my time, nothing. They're taking it all. So I actually still live with my mother. Things are going pretty. I'm going to Olive Garden. I live at home. It's great. Crushing life right now.
Do you need a girlfriend?
No, I've got a girlfriend. That's the crazy thing. She's I don't mind it. I don't mind anybody. She likes the fun of sneaking back into my house when I was asleep. She loves that shit. She played a lot of Tomb Raider, so she liked all of that shit. It's nice though because I love my mom. She's great. I still help her around the house. That's awesome. But she still tries to be very much a part of that manual labor. But she's old as fuck though. It makes sense. She's I was cleaning the gutters, so she's at the bottom of the gutters, just kind of let me know if you need any help. I'm Mom, I love you, but I doubt you're spotting me right now. You're not going to catch me if I fall. That's not going to happen. Anytime, the dog walks by her too fast, she gets weak in the knees. She's not built well at this point in her life. So, but I love it because I have an older brother. He's 4 years older than me. He's doing better things. He doesn't live here at all, not even close to home. So, but we would get into a lot of fights as we were, when we were children. She would always kind of intervene when we were really young, so we'd stop fighting. But as we got older, look, my brother's larger than me. So we're fighting, and she wasn't really able to break it up when we were our teenagers. So she would have another dizzy spell. She would just get in the middle of it, couldn't stop it, and just go, ugh. So my mother was basically Harriet Tubman of domestic violence. Yeah, that joke doesn't really go well. Another thing awesome about my life, I had a DUI recently. Yeah. No, it's a good story because I just passed my class last week. Yeah, right? Awesome. Great, yeah, I passed my drug test. Yeah. More applause! That's the best thing. The thing is, you take a drug test at the end of the class, and 2 days before my last class, I put stuff in my body that you don't normally put in your body before a drug test. So, and it's weird because I took, you go, before you take your test, you take a piss test, and then you take your written test. So I'm taking the written test. They didn't tell you if you passed it or not. There's not a good way to go so how was that drug test? That's not what people who pass drug tests say. They don't say that. They just, oh yeah, that's how it went. Right? Definitely passed. I'm in the corner. So, but she came up to me in the middle of the test and she's yeah, I just need you to sign this. And I scanned it and it didn't say anything bad. There was stickers, sunflowers and all that shit on it. I passed it. So the point of the story is, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. You can get shit done. Applause break. Boom. Has anyone had food poisoning?
Not today.
I love your style. That's amazing. So when I was 16, I had food poisoning. I ate at this small restaurant. So I had the chicken. The next day I woke up and I'm just shitting and I'm throwing up. Awful. You like what people do when they have food poisoning. That's what I was doing. So the girl I was seeing at the time, she came over and brought like a care package for me, like a nice little wicker basket. It was like Easter basket style, but had like Tylenol and like Tums in it. So I took this children's Tylenol, and on the box it said suppository. See, you guys are smarter than what I was then, because I didn't know what that meant. So I went to the computer room, because we didn't have computers in our pockets. Went to the computer room and found out what that was, and I was like, I have to put it where? Oh, yeah, okay, sure, no big deal, I'll do that, yeah. So, I go to my bathroom, take all my clothes off. This is where the story gets heated. Take all my clothes off, I have the pill, I drop the box on the ground, and I just put one of the pills in my asshole. I just told you that. So I'm like, all right, I guess it took. So I like bend over to pick up the box, and it shoots out of my asshole. That's pretty bad. So I turn around shamefully, and I'm looking for the pill, because it got some distance. I find it, one end perfectly fine tapered, the other flat because it hit my sink super fast. So I makeshift the tip, I put it back in, I throw another one in for good measure, and I'm just like I don't know, how do you take a pill in your butthole? How do you do, like, you put water when you take a pill, like, orally. You don't, like, you don't water butt your, you don't do that. I don't know a way to close that story, so I got better. That's the story. Yeah. So, you know, I was, last year I was, like, seeing a girl, and we were getting a little serious, and I was trying to have that little, take the relationship to a next level kind of thing. And at this one point, she was just kind of coming off of her period. We had sex, and she was like, you know, I just don't really want this to get that serious just yet. That's fine, no big deal. But I thought we passed that threshold because I woke up in the middle of the night, looked in the mirror, and I looked like an extra from Apocalypto. It's kind of gross, right? Yeah. I'll tell one more joke real quick. This guy I work with now, I found out he's like a recovering heroin addict. That got really loud when I said heroin addict. But he's a recovering heroin addict. And I found out he's like a picky eater, which I thought was weird. So if I like walk in the room, I'm like, hey man, do you want like a slice of this supreme pizza? And he's like, no, onions are way too sharp. What about the needle, man? Thank you guys, that's my time. I'm Steven Sneed.